This episode is dedicated to the memory of Jim Hoot Gibson.
This is the Hands of Stone, Ronnie Garvin. Give me back my pro wrestling.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Give Me Back My Pro Wrestling.
For those who don't know, now you know, baby. This is Hot Rod Biggs, Jared, Jimmy Street. We're going to take them to the limit one more time, baby, right here on Give Me Back My Pro Wrestling.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome one more time to the Give Me Back My Pro Wrestling podcast. And I am here, as always, with my brother from the same father and mother, the Plastic Sheik, Jared Street. What's up, Sheik? How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good, man. I'm doing pretty good. A little colder these days, but doing great. And, I brought some charisma with me today.
Oh, that is right. You brought our territory wrestling guru and the host of This Month in Wrestling History, Quinton Quarisma. Q, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good. How y'all guys doing?
Man, doing good.
Yeah, hanging in there, man.
Yeah. Now, today, obviously, is a very special episode. This is our tribute to the pride of Lebanon, Virginia, Hoot Gibson. And today, we're having Ronnie Garvin, his longtime best friend, on the show. I figure if you're going to have a tribute to Hoot, you've got to have his best friend, Ronnie. So we have Ronnie coming up, but right now, we have one of the reasons that Ronnie's going to be here today. Welcome to the show, longtime friend of the show, hometown friend, another guy from Lebanon, Virginia, Jamie Combs. Jamie, welcome, brother. How are you today?
I'm doing good. Hope you guys are doing well, and appreciate you having me on the show.
Absolutely.
We're glad to have you. I knew you were friends with Hoot, so to tie that in. And then, of course, you and Beth, your awesome wife, helped get us, Ronnie, on this show today for the tribute to Hoot. So I figured we have to have you on too, brother.
Yeah. We ran into Ronnie at the gathering in Charlotte in August, and just brought the subject up and told him what you guys would like to have him on the show, and we got his number, and the rest is, as they say, is history. So we were glad to help out with that a little bit.
Well, thank you so much for doing that. Obviously, Jamie and his wife, Beth, Jared, and myself, we're all from the same town as Hoot, Lebanon, Virginia. It's a small town, maybe 3,000 people. It's in the heart of Southwest Virginia in Russell County, and a great little, quaint little town. And obviously, being from the same town as Hoot, we always heard stories about Hoot, and especially from our uncle, Jewel Stevens, who told us amazing stories. He also tried to ruin wrestling for us, but we won't get into that.
Great kayfabe, kayfabe.
Come on. But of course, where Jamie is here with us in the open, we'd love to hear some stories from you about Hoot. So go ahead, Jamie. The floor is yours, brother.
All right. The funniest story that I remember, Hoot himself told me this one, just a little short story. He was someplace one night wrestling, and I don't know if he was in a hurry, distracted, all the above. But anyway, he told me he got about halfway down the aisle to go to the ring, and somehow he noticed he only had his undertrunks on. He had forgot to put his actual wrestling trunks on. So he whirled around, went back to the dressing room, and put his wrestling trunks on real quick. We got a kick out of that story. I'm sure he had a lot of stuff like that that have been lost to history, but that one really sticks out. But he told me that one himself some years ago. But I don't know if somebody yelled at him and told him that he was missing the rest of his attire or what. But luckily he had on something, but he didn't get the whole outfit on, and he ran back to the dressing room and put him back on and got to the ring. So I'm sure his face was probably blood red at that point.
Hey, now hold just a second, Jamie. I got to ask our wrestling expert something here. Q, what is it normally guys wear under trunks?
Some do, some don't. Some wear just the regular old through the looms. Some of them just go free balling, if you want to say. I mean, it depends on what your preference is, you know.
Okay, gotcha.
I've seen some. I saw something like one of those ride-alongs or something WWF did, and I feel like maybe Bobby Roode and maybe Matt Cardona or something like that. They were like thongs underneath.
Yeah, some wear thongs too.
Yeah.
It seemed like most of the old timers a lot of the old timers freeballed it.
Yeah, understand. Well, we're hoping Hoot at least. I mean, he would have known. I mean, the story would have been completely different.
Yeah, it'd been better.
Anyway, so yeah.
Well, just a couple of things that Hoot did that a lot of people have probably don't know or forgotten. He owned an auction house here in town. It's called Gibson's Wholesale and Auction. They had auctions every Friday night beside the Little Russell Theater downtown here.
Okay.
And,
yeah. Okay.
That was in. I found an ad for that. The first auction was January 7th, 1983. So I don't remember how long that lasted, but I think he won a couple of awards. I think ran across an article where he had a trophy in the picture. So I think he won an auctioneer's trophy at an event. So he was pretty good at that. And I was trying to think what else that I found on him that I'd forgotten. I do know in more recent years he did some gospel singing and some speaking at some local churches. I know one of the little churches here in town, Cedar Creek Baptist. Sing he would sing and speak there a little bit. And then there was Lakeshore Community Church, I think was close to where he lived over on South Holston Lake. He made some singing and speaking appearances there and several other places, but he did that several years before his health failed and he had to be in the hospital and a nursing home and everything. But he was a good singer. I did hear him sing a couple of times, and he was multi-talented for sure. Auctioneer and a singer and a wrestler, and he was good at his job at the Bristol Mall in Bristol, Virginia, facilities manager, and he was like I said, multi-talented guy. He just had a lot of talent.
Yeah, no doubt. Jared and I were literally just talking about some of that, how obviously we've been doing our research on our side as well, just saying, hey, who knows Hoot, where was Hoot, that kind of stuff. And that's really cool. I never knew about the auction stuff. That's awesome. Mm-hmm. He really was. And then the gospel singing, I got to hear some of this, man. Is it out there by chance? Can we hear it anywhere, Jamie?
I don't know. I haven't looked around. There might be something on YouTube, maybe. Okay. I'm not sure. But I'll look that up and let you know what I find. And if you find anything, let me know too. But he could do that. And of course, he was involved in the community rescue squad. I believe he was captain at one time. So he did some volunteer work here in town too. So he had a pretty full life. He really got involved in a lot of different things, and from what I saw and heard myself and different people, he was good in everything that he dabbled in. He, like I said, just a lot of talent there.
Yeah, no doubt. And Jared and I were just talking about this. How Jared, I think you could say this as well. I think we've come to understand that basically our biggest memories of him was from the Bristol Mall.
Yeah, that's definitely where my memories of him are. I mean, I can remember our Uncle Jewel that you mentioned earlier. Cutting up and carrying on. I don't even know that I recall that I knew who it was. Really, I just knew it was somebody that the family knew or something like that. And
yeah,
kind of had. Memories of it, or at least I didn't know that until like maybe later years. That's who it was. But
yeah,
picture him wearing his hat. I can see wearing his hat.
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
cowboy like hat.
Yeah. I probably, you and I were just wanting to get to the toy store, you know?
Or the arcade or something. Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of sad if you think about it. I'd rather talk to Hoot now,
I
but
know.
you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, no, man. I mean, there's just as a wrestling fan growing up, there was nothing we didn't, you know. If you heard about wrestling and you said you liked, oh, there's a wrestler in town. It's Hoot Gibson. You know, I'm sure it was the same for you, Jamie.
Oh, it was. Yeah. Yeah. We was, you know, when you were a little kid here in this small town back in those days when you'd run into Hoot, you just got more excited, especially if you were a wrestling fan, seeing him than you did a lot of people. And
Definitely.
I know. I wish I knew exactly when Hoot started wrestling. I know the earliest ads that I have found for Hoot. The earliest actual ad for him being advertised to wrestle here in town was June 4th, 1975. So that's how far back he goes. And I know I did see there's a clip on, he made an appearance with Southern States Wrestling in 1991 in Kingsport. There was a match with Don Wright and a couple other guys, kind of a Legends tag team match.
Yeah.
So he at least wrestled on up into the 90s some.
Yeah. Yeah. That's cool. Yeah. But I'm trying to think, man, that's a shame. I would have loved to have gone to that. That's so close to us. You know, 91, I was probably able to get a ride there, but I couldn't have, I guess. But
Yeah, yeah. And I did find I'm pretty positive he was trained by Dale Starr.
Okay.
So and I don't know how he ran across Dale. I don't know if he was just at a show and ran across him or what, but I wish I knew that. But pretty positive. I found Hoot on some cards with Dale. So that tells me that it was Dale Starr that trained Hoot.
Okay. Do we know much about Dale Starr? Anybody?
No, I don't.
Yeah. Was he a local guy?
If Quinton don't, I don't.
Yeah.
I think Dale was he was in Kentucky at one time, and I think he had a promotion in Kentucky.
Okay. Okay.
And I can't remember where exactly Dale is from. I right now I want to say Kentucky, but I'm not positive on that. There's a little bit online about him.
Yeah, okay. I'll check it out. I mean, you know, I know we were talking Dale Man or Dale Star, but you think you have it pinned down to Dale Star is what you're saying.
I believe so, yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, that's very cool, man. So what would you like just in your general when would you mostly see Hoot, Jamie?
Going town as a kid, my dad and him were pretty good friends. They knew each other actually they went to high school together and graduated the same year or real close together. And they worked at the same funeral home downtown, and I guess that was in the 60s. I know Hoot worked there for just a short time, and my dad did as well.
Okay.
They may not have been there at the same time, but it's around those same years. But yeah, my dad and Hoot go back to grade school, high school, anyway.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
So I would see Hoot. You know, my dad would take me around to the downtown businesses, and we would go into his the Ace Hardware store. It was in two different locations. The first one was out. It's out where the old. Actually, to be honest, to remember correctly, the Ace Hardware that he opened up is actually in the same spot as the new one that's here in town now.
Oh, okay.
Beside the old laundromat, like?
Yeah, it used to be the Hen House Laundry.
Right. Yeah.
And there was a tasty
And the tasty
freeze.
freezer's right in front of it.
Yeah, right down there. Yeah, right in that same section.
Okay.
And, most people don't know. I didn't realize that till a few months ago after the new Ace opened that Hoot had the first Ace Hardware here in that same location, and he moved it downtown to It's right there beside the courthouse. If you're looking at the courthouse, it'll be on your right, and where Hoot had the hardware stores, there on your
Okay.
left, where Lebanon drugstore used to be.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. Very cool. Do you know the deli, where the deli was by chance?
Yeah, it was right beside, right next door to the Russell Theater.
Oh,
There's
so
a heating and cooling business there now.
yeah, yeah.
But
Used to
yeah,
be Starnes or
Used to be,
Stinson.
then there used to be a Chevrolet place right there too, though.
Right,
yeah,
right.
you're
Yeah.
right there on the corner. Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah. And the old
Yeah.
the Civil War statue and all that, man. So
yeah, yeah.
yeah, yeah, that's cool, man. So he basically owned downtown, it sounds like.
Yeah, pretty much.
So
Yeah.
Jared, you need to change the road from Mast Avenue to Hoot Avenue, I think, Jared. You got any pull in that?
I'll get right on my limited pool on there.
Well, we could rename Main Street for all I care, but you know
There
what I
you
mean.
go.
Yeah. Hoot Gibson Boulevard, something like that.
There you go.
I love that. Yeah, I love that. Yeah. Well, that's cool, man. Well, you got anything else you want to share, brother?
No, that's about it. That covers mostly what I know about him, and unfortunately, there's not very much footage out there of him wrestling. But there's 3 or 4 matches on YouTube that if you type his name in, that's the best way to find him. And then I did run across the Southern States Wrestling footage from '91 in Kingsport, so you can see him there too. But maybe if you do a little digging, you can find some more. But those 3 or 4 there stick out, and I've noticed, Hoot did rub elbows with some pretty big names, Bob Orton Jr. and Pez Watley and Rip Rogers, and of course Gary Royal was a good hand back in the day. But anyway, that's kind of a synopsis of Hoot and his life, and it's a lot of fun, to think back on him and my interactions with him, and his career and his life and everything.
Absolutely. And that's why I'm so excited to talk to Ronnie about this today. Ronnie knows him probably like the back of his hand. So I'm really excited about that. And we'll get to Ronnie in just a bit. But yeah, one of the earliest matches that I found of Hoots I'm talking years ago that it was on YouTube, was the Al Snow match where he wrestles Al Snow versus him and Ronnie Garvin in ICW. We're actually going to have a clip from Al Snow and Rip Rogers coming up in just a little bit after we talk to Ronnie. And of course, we're even going to have some from our good friend of the show, George Weingroff, as well. So y'all stay tuned after Ronnie to hear a few more stories about Hoot. Thank you so much for sharing all that with us, Jamie. Like I said, it's appreciative that you're here, brother, and we're glad to have you on the show with us today to kind of keep going with some business before we get to Ronnie, to cover a few things that we need to, I guess. How was everybody's Christmas? Let's start with you, Sheik. How'd you do, man? Christmas good?
Yeah, Christmas is really good, man. It's when you got kids the age of mine, it's all about them, and it's that's the way I have it. But had a good time eating and opening presents and just being with family. It's the best part to me anymore. So
yeah. Definitely. Q, what about you, brother?
I hate to be a downer, but Christmas is just another day to me nowadays.
All right. Well, yeah.
Sorry, I hate to break it down, but I'm just telling the truth, man.
I get you, brother. I get you, man.
I got kids, so I don't have no kids, and I really ain't got no family anymore. So it's just another day, really.
Okay. Well, I feel you, bro. You're right. It's your right to feel that way, brother. Jamie, how about you, man? How was your Christmas?
Oh, did pretty good. I must have been a good boy over the year. Beth actually got me. I've been collecting replica belts for the last few years, and I got the Missouri State Championship belt that used to be the stepping stone to the world title, and I got the AWA belt that Larry Zbyszko and Jerry Lawler held in the late '80s. So as a wrestling fan, I was tickled to death with those. I got some other things too, but those really stick out.
Man, share those in the group, brother. We'd love to see those, man. Those are beautiful belts.
Yeah, Missouri belt. I like that.
We just talked about that on Q's show, didn't we?
Wow.
Yeah.
It's been recent. We talked because I remember talking about how it was a stepping stone to the world title when the St. Louis it was big time.
Yeah, definitely. That's awesome. Please share those with us, Jamie. We'd love to see them, man. So,
yeah, sure will. Yeah, sure will. I actually bought a book on that belt. I'm reading up on. So
very cool.
Sam Muchnick belt. So
well, read that book and come back on the show and we'll talk about it. How about that? So
I'll be glad to do it. And one last thing, the replica belts these days are awesome. They're really not all that expensive. But if you get them from the right places, they're awesome, but very close to the originals. But anyway.
Yeah, some beautiful stuff. So yeah, good job, Beth. That's awesome. Or Santa Claus, however you want to look at it. So
absolutely, yes.
Well, I had a great Christmas. We took a week off. We're back with this one with Ronnie and Hoot today, so we're very excited about that. But obviously, the biggest thing probably for Jared and I this Christmas is our mom. We would love for you all, if you can, to go ahead and say a prayer for our mom. She's having some back issues again. She's having some balance issues where it's causing her to fall. Don't really want to go too crazily into it, but just if you guys don't mind out there in listener land, please, if you got one, say a prayer for our mom that she can get some healing and some relief from the trouble she's having right now. We really appreciate it. Of course, last episode this month in wrestling history with Quinton Quarisma, episode 6, December. Q, you're banging them, man. They're awesome, bro. Everybody's enjoying them, receiving a lot of responses. I think it's already up to 700 downloads. You're doing awesome, buddy. So thank you, man. Good show.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you for letting me do it.
Of course, man. It's a jewel of every month when we get to talk some wrestling history for sure. To continue on the show here, we've got Captain's Corner, of course. Can't have a show without mentioning them. In the Portland Wrestling Expo 2, Saturday, February 21st. Holiday Inn, Portland Airport, 8439 Northeast Columbia Court, Portland, Oregon. Be there, be square. Make sure and tell Nick and the gang that Give Me Back My Pro Wrestling sent you. A little more information to talk about. Gideon's Warriors. It's a night of pro wrestling stories and testimony of God's grace with Pastor Rick Reynolds and our buddies Shane Morton, Ben Jordan, and Sean Schultz. Sunday, January 18th. Don't even have to say 2026 anymore, guys, because we're already here. It's at 7 p.m. at His House Ministries at 4909 Highway 43, Summertown, Tennessee. Rick is very excited to see you, and I know it's going to be a great time. Go hear some awesome stories and testimonies. And once again, like I always say, tell them, Give Me Back My Pro Wrestling sent you. One more thing before we get to Ronnie, and this is kind of timely because when we had this gentleman on our episode, he actually spoke about Hoot. If you've one more prayer request, pray for a former guest of the show, Man Mountain Rick Link. He is a friend of Hoot, had a long time, great career in the business, beat Lawler for the title in the Mid-South Coliseum. Just a great run of matches that Rick had. So it's kind of showing you how prayer works, guys. We had heard that Rick had gone into hospice because he had some bad health issues. He was tired of doing dialysis. And then it seemed that hospice and all of our prayers did something because he had an immediate health turnaround. He literally kicked out and he said, I'm out of here. I'm not doing hospice. So he went back to the hospital. So guys, prayers work, keep praying for Rick. I know, and his sister posted this, that he loves the Lord with all his heart. And he is already saying that he's ready to go home to Jesus. But I don't think they're through with Rick yet. I think he's got something else in him. So if you can, say a prayer for Rick. We appreciate it. Keep him in your prayers. I know he needs them, and I know he would appreciate it. Guys, other than that, I have nothing else. Do you all have anything before we get to Ronnie Garvin?
I don't have anything. Let's get to him.
Yeah, I don't have anything either. Yeah, let's do it.
All right, we'll be right back with the Hands of Stone, Ronnie Garvin, and a special tribute to Jim Hoot Gibson on Give Me Back My Pro Wrestling. Gideon's Warriors, a night of pro wrestling stories and testimony of God's grace and mercy. Come hear Pastor Rick Reynolds, who you may know as Damien or Forsaken, Shane Morton, Ben Jordan, and Tommy Phillips, aka Sean Schultz, as they share their experiences in pro wrestling and their personal walks with God. It's all going to be on Sunday, January 18th, 2026 at 7 p.m. at His House Ministries, 4909 Highway 43, Summertown, Tennessee. Everyone is welcome. Do not miss this one-time event.
Hey, this is Pastor Rick Reynolds of His House Ministries in Summertown, Tennessee. I'd like to do a personal invitation to everyone to come see us on January 18th, 2026 at 7 o'clock.
Introducing, in the red corner, 216 pounds from Lebanon, Virginia, Hoot Gibson.
All right, we are back with a very special episode tonight. Once again, like you heard in the open, we are paying tribute to Lebanon, Virginia's finest, Jim Hoot Gibson. And, first off, I got to say this. Hoot's friend Jamie Combs here is with us, as we talked about in the open. And Jamie actually set all this up by back in August. He met Ronnie Garvin at the gathering down here in Charlotte, and he put in progress, he started the ball rolling on something we've been wanting to do for a really long time. And once we had Ronnie on board, we knew we could do it, because Ronnie, you were Hoot's best friend, right?
Oh Lord, I think we're brothers. We didn't know it.
Yeah.
No kidding. When I first met his mother, he was so much like my mother. I
Really?
mean, it was, yeah. I mean, religious and just almost identical. And him and I we never had a word that would disagree with anything. I think, and you talk about an honest guy. He was the most honest person I've ever met.
Yeah.
Ever met.
That's awesome.
You could trust him with anything. He was fun to be around. We had a blast. We hunted together. We did so much. I mean, we always had a good time.
Yeah.
Always had a good time.
Yeah. That's awesome.
And we had a lot of laughs. But when I went to his hometown at Lebanon, he took me around. When I met him, I don't think his dad had been dead very long. He had a Jeep that belonged to his dad, and we rode the Jeep a lot. We went hunting and we did all kinds of stuff. I mean, we were going all the time, and he'd wrestle once in a while, and he had a hardware store when I met him.
Mm-hmm.
And I went there many, many, many times. I was in Lebanon quite a bit. And he had another business. He had a deli. Yeah. He had a deli.
Yeah.
And I think he wound up losing all that because he got more into wrestling, I guess, than he was with his business. Yeah. Because he loved wrestling. He loved wrestling. Yeah. And he was gone a lot all of a sudden. Just when I appear, we went all over. I was living in Knoxville. He was living in Lebanon, and he'd come down and visit me, and I'd go up and spend time with him. And but he was gone all the time. He neglected the business. And anyway, one day I hear he's just getting divorced. I was sad. He had a real nice wife, beautiful woman. I can't remember her name, but and all of a sudden I find out he's getting divorced. So he went through a bad time there with the business. He lost everything, man. And he told me he had borrowed a lot of money, trying to save for the business from local guys. Gotcha. I know we used one guy. His name was Grandfather. I can't remember his real name. We call him Grandfather. He was from Lebanon. Okay. And we anyway, and he filed for bankruptcy. When he filed for bankruptcy, he didn't have to pay. I think he was protected. Right. He didn't have to pay. Yeah. Well, to make a long story short, is way later when he came to Bristol, and he was security of the
Bristol Mall.
At the mall, yeah.
Bristol Mall. He was security there.
Yeah.
And do you know how much honest that guy is? I find out. Now, this is like probably 4 years later. He was working his ass off, and just, he paid the people he had borrowed the money. He didn't have to. The court had released them. I mean, he was bankrupt, and he went and paid those people.
Wow.
Yeah.
That tells you. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, he was to me, there's never been another Hoot in my lifetime or probably around anywhere.
Yeah. Well, so we've got a few questions for you we'd love to ask you. I guess let me start off with this because that was an amazing story. I don't think we could have started this off any better than that. That just shows you the true character of Hoot, So obviously Jim Hoot Gibson, the pride of Lebanon, Virginia, he was born January 10th, 1940. And unfortunately, he passed October 14th, 2024. So just been over a year now. I'm going to let my brother Sheik take over first. So take over, Sheik.
So Ronnie, do you know much about Hoot's younger days? Did he ever talk about what it was like growing up around here and anything like that? Or
No, we never discussed that. He had his dad, and no, we didn't. We never talked much about because he didn't have any brothers or sister.
Right. Yeah.
So.
Ronnie, I'm gonna go off script here, and I hope I don't get in trouble with everybody else. But I just got a question I want to know. So I've heard Robert Gibson, who they call Hoot as well, say that he got the nickname from somebody calling him like after Hoot Gibson. So he got the name kind of after Jim. And do you know how that started or anything like it, or who might have originally called Robert Hoot?
No, I sure don't. I never knew who would give him that nickname or how it started.
Yeah. I heard him talking sometime in an interview, and he was talking about that it was somebody called him that after. He said it was a guy from Bristol, Hoot Gibson. So I just want to know if you knew any more. I had to ask it, so we can move on now.
That's all right. No, we never discussed that. I never asked him where he got it.
Yeah.
I didn't think it was a big deal. Hoot, everybody knew him, and
yeah. Everybody had a nickname in the business.
Yeah. Yeah, well, it's a good name. You don't forget that when you understand when you hear the name Hoot.
Right. And I believe there was an old time famous cowboy actor named Hoot Gibson. I can't remember exactly. Yeah.
Gibson. Yeah. It was an old time. You're right, cowboy.
Yeah. So I'm sure they all got it from him, I guess. But
probably you might have read something in a book and took the name. I don't know.
It worked. Right. Yeah.
Yeah, it did work.
Well, jump in, Jamie.
Oh, yeah. This was a great start to the show. Just to refresh your memory, Hoot's name was Jan. And
Jan.
Just a gorgeous lady. I remember as a kid, she worked at the Lebanon department store as a sales lady. And even as a little boy, I had a crush on her, but she had
I bet.
long brown hair, just a gorgeous lady, just really sweet. But it was a shame, that they split and everything. And I think Hoot being gone a lot had a whole lot to do with that. But I know I saw them years later together. It was several years before Hoot passed at our local funeral home here, and they hugged each other, and there seemed pretty amicable, which I was glad to see.
Yeah.
He he had a lot of talent. He was an embalmer. He could embalm people.
Yeah, he sure did. He worked at a local funeral home here for a while, and
I watched him do it one time.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Was that somebody you had sugared?
I was impressed when I watched them do that. When he explained everything. There was a lot of that's something I didn't know.
Yeah.
How do you want to know?
Yeah, it's I've got it's quite a few memories of Hoot, and to back up just a little bit, I've got to do this or I'll end up divorced. At the convention, I had my wife Beth with me, and I was telling her about how you, Jimmy, wanted to get Ronnie on the show about Hoot, and So she was in front of me in the autograph line to chat with Ronnie and get a couple of autographs. And she actually was the one that got to talk to Ronnie first before I did, and and got the number.
We'll switch out, Jamie.
Yeah,
Sorry, buddy. Put bets on. I'm just kidding.
she's a big fan. She'd love to do it, but yeah, she got the number and everything. So she was the catalyst for get the number and everything. But I'll be sure and pass the thanks along. But Hoot was he was a jack of all trades. He was an auctioneer, and he was a charter member of the local rescue squad here in Lebanon, and he was captain at one time.
Got something going.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He was always going. I remember one time we went to his house. He lived, that was after when he got divorced. He lived in this house. There was a pond behind the house.
Mm-hmm.
It's right almost in town.
Okay.
Almost in town there.
Okay.
And we used to get some frogs out of that pond. And and he would clean them up, and then you put them in. They were good because he would freeze them, and then about a week, 2-3 weeks later, we would eat them. With steak.
Wow.
With steak.
Yeah.
Frog leg steak, and it was great.
That sounds awesome.
And I would bring a .22 rifle, and I'd shoot them. I'd go out at night around the pond, and you can see them, and they make the noise, and you can see their eyes, and pow! I would shoot them, and we wound up with sometimes a bunch of legs because I probably killed 15 or 20,
Wow.
And we did that.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Cool stuff.
Yeah.
That's great.
Speaking of the pond, I think that pond is actually still there. I remember exactly who lived a couple of houses down from the old rescue squad building here in town.
Okay.
Yeah. And I think that pond is still there, actually, on somebody's farm right there adjoining where Hoot used to live. And I know Hoot used to have a wrestling ring set up there in the backyard. And I heard a couple of funny stories about some guys trying to get in there and run the ropes. And I know one guy fell through them, and that was the talk of the town for a long time. But Hoot liked to entertain there too. You probably remember some of those stories there, Ronnie.
Oh yeah, I mean, I met some of his friends when I was there. I can't remember their name. The only one I really remember is the guy was older than him and I, and we called him grandfather.
Yeah. It might have been Bob Ring. Bob was an auctioneer, heavy set guy.
Bob Ring. That's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Since you said Ring, I couldn't remember.
Yeah. Bob was a real good friend of mine and my dad's.
Oh, he was a funny guy.
Oh, yes, he was.
He came hunting with us. There was 9 of us that we hunted. Every year. He had a motorhome, nice motorhome. Hoot had, and so he would drive. We would go to Virginia, West Virginia, way up in past Lord, it was past Bluefield, past long ways up there.
Yeah,
and it was called High Top, and we hunted on High Top.
Oh,
and anyway, he had a couple of other friends, and I had a couple of other friends. It was 8 to 9, 10 of us, and we did that for years. First, we'd go for 1 week, and then near the end, especially after I retired from wrestling and everything, 2 weeks. Oh, it was fantastic. We'd kill more deers. That was unreal.
Yeah, that's awesome.
We always got along with, and he would turn that spot where we camped. It looked like a small town. He'd put lights outside all over the place. My camper was parked there. His motorhome was parked there. And then there was 2, 3 other guys with campers, and it was all lit up.
That's awesome. Made a little town.
Yeah.
Hoot holler.
Yeah.
We had a blast.
Ronnie, did you ever hear who trained Hoot to wrestle?
No. He might have told me, but I forgot.
Was a name like Dale Starr? Maybe?
We didn't really talk a lot about wrestling.
Oh,
for some reason.
Yeah.
We talked some, but didn't get a whole lot of details how he started.
Yeah. Yeah. Gotcha.
So when and where did you first meet Hoot?
I think in the woods hunting. I think it was where we camped up there.
That's awesome.
He was down below. High top was I think it was 10 or 12 miles straight up a mountain.
Uh-huh.
Wow.
It was high. That's what they call it, high top. And it was good hunting up there. And there was a lot of hunters all over the place in Virginia and West Virginia, because that's where they touch the states,
Yeah, right.
So I believe that's where I met him. I was thinking about that. I knew I was going to talk about this. And I'm not positive, but I'm pretty sure that's where it was.
Okay.
He was camped with 2 or 3 other guys down the road from there, and we were higher up, and we met on the road one day, and he knew about wrestling, and I think if I remember right, he stopped us. Somebody had told him that I was up there. I hadn't met him, I guess, and but I think he knew my name,
Yeah.
because I used to wrestle all over the place up there, Johnson City and those places.
Oh, yeah.
So that's how he introduced himself, and from then on, he was my brother.
Yeah.
So how did he get booked with the Poffos? Do you know?
Well, I had 20% of that promotion.
Oh
yeah.
I had 20% of that promotion. There was Bob Orton, Bob Root, myself, and what was the guy from Kingsport there?
Ron Wright.
Ron Wright. Yeah, that's how he got up there. He come down. Well, we ran Charlotte. We ran and we even went up to Lord, what's the name of that town? 200 miles north of Knoxville.
Lexington.
Lexington.
Okay.
Then we moved up there.
Okay.
We moved. It was 2 promotions in Knoxville was too much.
Yeah, right.
That's how I got him in. And then he stayed at my house whenever time he'd wrestle up there, and that's probably why he was. What I mean, he kind of neglected home, I guess.
Yeah.
You can't chase too many. You can only do so much. He was trying to wrestle. Well, he loved wrestling. I mean, he was good. He was good. Oh, I got to tell you this one.
Please.
We're wrestling. I can't remember the town, but somebody threw him in the corner. We're wrestling, and they whipped him into the corner, and the guy had put his foot up, and Hoot ran right into his eye. It was puffed up like an apple on the side of his face. I thought he was going to lose his vision. We laughed so much about that later on. I said, man, you should have seen. He said, yeah, I looked at myself in the mirror every day. Yeah. Well, he was a good hand, and everybody liked him.
Yeah.
Kind of guy that I don't think he had too many.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm also friends with George Weingroff, and
oh, do you? I talk to him every day.
Yeah, George is a buddy. Tell him Jimmy Street said hi. And Quinton and Jared and everybody. But so George told me a story about kind of what happened with Hoot a little bit in the ICW. So it shows here that in Johnson City, September 20th, 1982, I kicked myself for not being there and old enough to be there. But anyway, Hoot had a match with Randy Savage, and George said that maybe something didn't go well in that match, and that didn't end up being the best for Hoot. Is that true, or do you know anything about that?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, let me tell you something. Savage was the biggest asshole in the whole entire world.
Okay. Okay.
That guy, I had a fight with him. I kicked his ass in 3 minutes, 3 seconds of me. Yeah. And I never had a fight with any other guy in a dressing room over anything.
Yeah.
You know, he got probably in fights in the dressing room and everywhere, probably a dozen times that I know.
Wow.
That I know. Rip Rogers kicked his ass too.
Yeah.
He could fight worth the shit. You know, you might. I'm serious.
I believe you.
The guy, he had a body, steroids and all that crap, but he couldn't fight worth the crap. The only good guy in the family, the Poffo family, was Lanny. I like Lanny. Lanny was a go-lucky guy, happy-lucky. He just didn't care about him much of anything. He was always smiling, and But the rest of the family, Angelo and Chase, man, never met anybody like that.
Yeah.
The office was in Lexington. We had moved to Lexington. We had an office there.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what you heard every day? Bob Roop, I'm part of it. Bob Roop, Bob Orton. Every day, every single day, it was like a prayer. Angelo Poffo would say, better rich and dead than poor and alive. No kidding.
Wow.
And this guy had been a teacher.
Yeah.
He was a school teacher.
Oh.
And you would think he'd have more brains. Oh, and Randy, I call him the turkey. He spins his head around. He's always on the watch like a turkey. Spinning around and doing. He was natural at that. He did that all day long. There's one arm up in the air, the other one. Cartoon. Me and Hoot used to laugh so hard, and that's when after he wrestled with Hoot, Randy didn't like Hoot. I don't.
Yeah.
And so there was a lot of guys he didn't like.
Yeah. Right.
He didn't.
Yeah. Okay. Gotcha. Yeah. George told me that story, and I just wanted to verify it with you. Not that George would have told me a lie. I'm just saying, I wanted to hear a little more about that.
Maybe you had some more insight to it.
Yeah.
But you know what he did? He was the world champion. I wrestle him every night.
Right.
Him and I. But I was in business. It was business.
Yeah. Right.
And,
of course.
Never had to put him in the ring. Never had. And you know what he done? He was on TV every week and everything. So we were known. Everybody knew us. Well, he went shopping and he stole a steak, big old, and put it in his pants. And when he got outside, somebody had seen him, so they arrested his ass.
I heard that story.
He's the world champion.
Yeah.
I went on TV and I told everybody, this is the world champion that steals steaks for making a living, trying to survive, I guess. He probably doesn't make enough money.
Yeah. Man, the champion stealing and going to jail for a steak.
Oh,
wow.
yeah. And for that, it was a T-bone steak.
Oh, of course.
T-bone. my favorite.
Hey, Ronnie, I heard there's been stories through the years that said that Angelo tried to cover up and said that he told Randy to do it for publicity. Does that sound right to you?
No.
That's what I thought too.
No. But it was a family that, like I say, even the mother, man, there was something wrong with them. There was a wrestler that came, I can't remember his name now. Old timer, supposedly he was a good cook, and they had been with him in somewhere, some territory. Oh, they bragged about this guy for a long time, and they got him in the territory, brought him in to wrestle, and they treated him like shit. Mm-hmm. We couldn't believe it. After they brag about him, there was something really wrong with that whole family, except for Lanny. And Lanny was a little bit weird, but he was just funny.
Yeah. Yeah. George has told me stories like that. They just kind of like overpowered Lanny and just took him over, basically. So,
yeah. Well, Lanny was just, for me, the way I looked at it, he didn't give a shit.
Yeah. Okay. Right.
A lucky guy. He'd do anything, it pleased everybody. He was always laughing and,
yeah.
Good guy.
Yeah. Yeah, that's cool. That's cool.
Randy Savage, the way he treated his girlfriends, the guy was a lunatic from hell. And a lot of people don't know that. I call him a lunatic. I've never been around anybody like that. But It was not a work. People think the guy was putting on, with all that, his arm is in the air, did that continuously.
He never let it go, even in the locker room.
He lived it 24 hours a day. I mean, it was his.
Yeah.
So I had nicknamed him the Turkey.
You're listening to Give Me Back My Pro Wrestling, and we'll be right back after these messages.
Back by popular demand, the Portland Wrestling Expo 2 returns to the Holiday Inn Portland Airport on Saturday, February 21st. Already announced our WWE Hall of Famer, The Godfather, the legendary manager of the Road Warriors, Precious Paul Ellering, Scott Flash Norton, the world's strongest man, Ken Patera, Hustler Rip Rogers, and Portland legend, The Grappler. More announcements to come in the weeks to come. Tickets start as low as $25, so head on over to pwexpo.com to reserve your tickets now.
So, Ronnie, after ICW, do you know where Hoot did any work after that in the wrestling business?
No, I think that was pretty much the end.
Okay.
I think I would let him wrestle maybe up in no, because no, he didn't wrestle anymore because he had the job in Bristol.
Yeah. Okay.
He worked his ass off to pull himself out of the hole and pay his debts. And,
That's so admirable. Makes me like him even more.
Oh, when I saw that, I said to myself, "Oh, another thing too. Yeah, I forgot about that. When he borrowed that money, I didn't know that. I didn't know he was doing all that and everything. He called me one day. Mm-hmm. And I didn't know him, but maybe a year, maybe a year, not a whole lot. And I still didn't know him that well, but we'd talk almost every day. But he called me, and he wanted to borrow $2,000. And I said, shit, because there was quite a few guys in the business,
Right.
I know one pulled $500 from me.
But man.
So finally I said, okay, I'll pay you. He says, I'll pay you. And I said, all right, Hoot. I said, you pay me whenever you can. He says, I'm busting my head. I'm going to come out of the hole and blah, blah, blah. And you know what? Every 2 to 3 weeks, maybe a month, he would call. I'm working on it. He says, I'm going to pay you. I want you to know. He says, I'm not going to run away from this, blah, blah, blah. And he'd done that for 3 years.
Wow.
And one day I got a check in the mail. Yeah.
Man, that
I got a check. I had forgotten about that, but yeah. And every month he would say, I haven't forgotten. I'm not hiding. I'm gonna make it.
Yeah.
And he did.
Yeah. And I hope I'm wrong about this, Ronnie, but he probably wasn't making a lot. You know what I mean? Like,
no, he wasn't making a fortune.
Right.
He was he manages, I guess, but
that's yeah. No wonder you were lifelong friends. That's true.
I would have given him everything he wanted.
Yeah.
Could have borrowed.
Yeah.
But, Rick Rude stole $500 out of my cowboy boots I had in my room.
Wow.
Yeah, there was quite a few. Not a lot of it. I can't say a lot of guys, but there was a few.
Yeah, man. I can't imagine anybody with the balls to steal from you, Ronnie. Honestly, I just can't.
Well,
yeah.
I was going to drill his ass, but I couldn't prove it.
Yeah. Okay.
And, what happened is Ole Anderson had called me. Rick Rude was from up in Minnesota.
Mm-hmm.
That's where Ole Anderson was doing the booking down in Atlanta. And so Ole Anderson calls me one day and he says, "Hey, I got a guy." He says, "I'm bringing him in." He says, "Can you keep him?" Well, I had 2 rooms because I live in a suite, a hotel suite.
Okay.
And so a room I never used. And he had come over and talked to me. That's how he had me. He says, you mind if I was maybe for a week or 2? He says, keeping him, Well, I didn't know some of it. I never met him. So I said, sure. Well, he's been staying with me for a couple of days, and I think I was going to Texas for 2-3 days. I needed some cash.
Yeah.
This is back then. I didn't carry a whole lot of cash,
Right.
But I needed some cash. So I went to the bank, and he was with me. I went to the window and took $500 out of the bank. Well, he saw me. So we went back to the motel. It was in the morning. I was leaving, I think, at noon to go to Texas. And so it was summertime. So we're going to lay by the pool. Well, I put my money in my boot, cowboy boot. Put my money there, and I don't know if we went together. I think we did. Went downstairs to the pool, and spent an hour or 2 at the pool, and then came time for me to ready to go, to go get dressed and go. And I come up. He went to the room first before me, and when I came up there, well, I went to look for my money in my boot. It was gone. I said to him, I says, "Hey, my money out of my boot." "No, man." And he got kind of aggravated or pissed off about it,
Yeah.
And so I said, "You didn't take my money." I says, "I guess some business appeared by itself." "Well, I know." I says, "I've been living here for a year. I lived there for over a year, and nobody had ever taken anything out of that room. Anything, not my watch or anything. Nothing was missing." So, "Well, God, you're accusing me of, right then I said he did it.
Yeah.
And I regret till today not knocked his ass out. But I did. And, so I go downstairs and I tell the lady at the desk, and I says, "You need to call the cops." Well, she did. He called the cops, but in the meantime, time's running out. I got to go. So I had a taxi and I had to leave. I couldn't wait anymore. I had to catch a plane.
Man.
Well, I was pissed the whole time I was going. I was pissed the whole time. I come back, and the lady at the desk says, "I got they had investigated, and I come up with some. The cop said, he said, your friend or the guy that is in your room, he says, has a lot of soul searching to do." That's everything.
Man.
A lot of soul searching to do. And anyway, after that, man, and I wrestled with him one night, man, and I'll tell you what, he was a piece of shit. If I would have had another 20 minutes, I'd kill him. I tell you, yeah, one time. And then he went to the promoter and he says, "Hey, I don't want to wrestle." That's what he said.
Yeah. Man.
And he was supposed to be a tough guy. But,
that's what we've heard. Yeah.
The guy, but he didn't know how to wrestle. He was a bodybuilder.
Yeah.
He was a bodybuilder. I got a picture of him when I got him screaming.
Oh, that's fun.
I put 10 pictures of that. Somebody's taking the picture.
You should sign him at events.
Well, he kicked the bucket at 43. So what the hell?
Right. Yeah, you want
always what goes around comes around.
It does. Yes, sir. Couldn't agree more.
Oh, yep.
Jump in.
It's hard to punch when you got somebody hooked.
Yeah.
Yeah, I call it the sugar hole.
Yeah.
The sweet hole. So, yeah.
All right. I know you said you got Hoot in with the Poffos. Before that, did he have any matches in Southeastern for Ron Fuller at all? Because some people said he might have, and I couldn't never find anything.
I think he did. I know he did in Tennessee there. With that
Goulas?
Johnson City.
Oh, okay,
Johnson
gotcha.
City. And I think he did somewhere else. Yeah, he came down. Oh, yeah, he came down to Knoxville. Yeah, because he stayed at my house. Yeah, he came down to wrestle in Knoxville.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, because I was there 5 years. Yeah, he stayed there. Yeah, and he was getting that was good for him because he was getting better and better.
Yeah.
But he didn't wrestle that often, and you don't wrestle very often, man. I tell you.
Right.
You kind of lose it.
Yeah.
Okay, so what would you actually describe Hoot's style as his wrestling style?
He was a desperate man in a cave. I mean, in a cage fighting for his life.
I got you.
Well, he wasn't polished, but he was good because everything looked good. Yeah, like the black eye. He ran into that corner man like 100 miles an hour. He was one in the ring and he busted his ass. To the best of his knowledge.
Yeah.
It's not like you got a career, you wrestled for 20, 30 years. You don't have no problem. But, he was, and that, like I say, from the first time I saw him in the ring, he was improving,
Yeah.
And,
That's good.
He was working hard.
Ronnie, do you know of any championships that Hoot might have won? I don't recall any myself.
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't think so, because usually when they get guys that do wrestling in just for the fun of it, kind of enough for a living.
Yeah.
They're usually on the first, second match, third match, second match.
Right. Yeah.
Well, because they're not steady.
Right.
They're not. And you're going to put somebody in. It's like when I first started. I remember, the first year you're in a business, man. You're in the first match. You're lucky if you ever get second match on the card.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But you got to learn. Everybody has to takes time. But he busted his ass, man.
Yeah.
Telling you get it. Well, I think he had the problem with what's his name, the Goof.
Yeah, Rand. Yeah. Who else did Hoot run around with? I mean, I know he ran around with you, but do you know? I mean, Rick Link, Man Mountain Link, told us that he was buddies with Hoot and stuff. Do you know of any other guys?
Well, I don't know if you have, but I remember him.
Mm-hmm.
I remember him.
Yeah, he spoke highly of Hoot on his episode.
So when did Hoot's like the Parkinson's? Do you know when that kind of started for him and his health started to go downhill from there? Do you know when that was?
I don't know. Well, I didn't know for a long time.
Yeah.
That he had Parkinson's. Well, you see, he didn't have any family.
Right.
And so he didn't talk about it. And it was I can't remember. It was some guy told me one time about. Well, I went to see him about 3 days before he died.
Yeah. And I heard George told me this. He said, you asked him, you said, who had been by to see you? And he says, Ronnie Garvin comes by. And he told that to you. Is that?
Yeah. I live right down the road.
Right.
Bristol,
Yeah.
So I go to him almost like 2 days, every couple of days, every day sometimes,
Yeah.
Go look at. But he, I guess his Parkinson kind of made him, I don't think he understood what the hell was going on. He fell, and he didn't have to fall.
Yeah.
He didn't use a walker. He had this girl, I can't remember her name. She's the one that took care of pretty much of everything at the end. She's got a husband. They own a prescription, a drugstore.
Okay.
This lady.
Okay.
She told him, she says, he's like my pappy.
Oh, that's awesome.
And
yeah.
That's another thing that Hoot used to call me pappy. Oh, yeah. But, that's what she said. She says, he's like my dad, my pappy, like family. and she found him a hell of a nice apartment, real nice apartment. It was right off the interstate there in Abington.
Okay.
Right off the interstate. He had a nice place, and they tried to screw him on his. Before he was in a hole. It was, these places. Some of them are not that good. They're stinky.
Right.
You walk in there and everybody's pissed in their pants and it stinks.
Yep. Yep.
Well, he took him out of there, and she got him an apartment. And of course, he was by himself. And but he had gained $400 a month more that he had in his bank account every month compared to before.
That's awesome.
She taught how to do the system. Anyway, well, he fell one day and got hurt pretty bad. In his back, broke some bones in his back. And I told him, I says, you shouldn't go anywhere. You shouldn't take the walker. The walker is the safest place. It's 4 legs, and you got support, and you're not going to fall. Well, he wound up and he was suffering. He had a lot of pain, and I went to see him. He was in a hospital, and he finally came out. And I said, make sure you take your walker. And I don't know if it's because of Parkinson's or he wasn't thinking. Maybe that's what it was, because he was by himself. And one day he had to go to the bathroom, and it's about maybe 10, 12 feet, not very far. He didn't have, he just tried to walk there without the walker. And he fell again. And this time he fell across a desk, a little desk that was, and it hurt his ribs, and I forgot what else. And then from then on, it went downhill. He got infection. When I went to see him, his feet were terrible. That place was not a very good place either.
Man.
That hospital, I don't think they took care of him very well.
Yeah.
And
that's horrible.
But he would recognize me, but his eyes were like, I got pictures. His eyes are big, and then he's kind of lost.
Yeah. Yeah.
But the end was sad.
Yeah.
Very sad. Been avoided, but when you live by yourself and you got Parkinson's and all that, probably, he wasn't thinking.
Yeah. Yeah. So October 14th came too soon, October 14th, 2024, and we lost Jim Hoot Gibson. Jamie, talk about his funeral, if you don't mind.
Well, unfortunately, I didn't get to attend his funeral. I know it was in Abingdon at a funeral home there. Ronnie, did you attend Hoot's funeral?
No, no, we were. I don't know. We were gone. He was cremated, wasn't
he? Yeah,
I think he was. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. Something.
We were. I think we were gone. We were gone to Florida.
Yeah, yeah. I missed it. I don't remember what occurred that day that prevented me from going, but it had to be pretty important, for me to miss out on Hoot's funeral. I really, I regret not being able to go to that, but I had some surgery in 2015, and it had been a while since I'd seen Hoot, and I was in the hospital in Bristol, and lo and behold, he came and visited me one day and stayed for probably an hour or so and prayed with me before he left. That's something I'll carry with me, for the rest of my life. Yeah, he was just tremendous. He was a great guy.
Was a believer, I tell you.
He sure was.
Yeah. He had a good life.
Yeah.
Life. That's one thing.
He really did.
I think a good place for him.
Yeah.
We'll be right back with more Give Me Back My Pro Wrestling.
Hey, my name is Tammy Reynolds. I am the wife of Forsaken. Rick Reynolds, that super cool guy that everybody knows and loves. And I represent West Side Sauces. I make sauces, I bottle them, I seal them, I sell them. I have a hot honey sauce, I have a sweet sauce, I have a hot sauce, I have a white sauce that's so yummy. You can use it on everything. They are absolutely amazing, and I'm so proud of them. We make them from scratch. So go on our website, westsidesauces.com, check out our products, read about our story, and go online and order you some of these yummy sauces. And Rick actually uses all of the sauces because he is a die-hard smoker and griller, and so he likes really good sauces and rubs, and I make them, so how convenient is that for him? Go on our website, westsidesauces.com, order you some samples, and I think you'll thoroughly enjoy them. Thank you guys. Be blessed.
Well, I know this has been a fun time for you and probably bittersweet and a little sad too. You know, we do have one final question we'd love to ask you. Quinton, if you don't mind, go ahead and take that one.
All right. What would you like people to remember about Hoot?
Oh, Hoot, he is about the best person you can ever find, you know. I mean, it's just, you know, I wish I knew 20 people like him.
Yeah.
So rare, you know.
Right.
So rare. But, you know, he loved life, and I think he had a good life, you know, until maybe the end, you know. He had a very good life. Yeah, he did a lot, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
Got tons of pictures of hunting seasons, and, you know, and he would cook a turkey way up in the woods. He would, in the grease, you know, he would deep fry.
Oh, that's a good turkey.
It was good. Yeah, yeah. Here we are in the middle of nowhere, and we're eating like kings.
Sounds amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We didn't have a hard time either. You know, there was a good time, and another time we went down. We were going down the mountain, and there was he shot a spike. He shot a spike.
Okay.
And it was not a real big spike, but he had pretty good little horns. And the deer went down, and so Hoot jumped out and to go get him. And when he got there, he grabbed him by the horns, and the damn thing stood up and took off, dragging him.
Oh,
oh my gosh!
Oh, and he finally. He reminded me of a guy at a you know, rodeos, you know, when you twist the neck, you know.
Yeah.
He flipped that thing, and I wound up dying on him.
Oh,
but
man.
I guess the last fight tried to escape, you know.
Put him in the sugar.
He was scratched up a little bit, but you know, a big deer would cause some damage.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah. Did you have something, Q? Go ahead.
Okay, Ronnie, I got to ask this question. I'm sure you've been asked it a million times. I've never heard you answer on anything. Back in the 90s, I was a big tape trader, and I got a bunch of ICW tapes in, and I saw a clip with you and Andre, and you were just handing him his butt with a chair, slant, everything. And at that time, I was just amazed.
I wrestled him in Knoxville. That was in Knoxville at the Coliseum in Knoxville, 1978.
Yeah.
Okay, I always heard that Andre would protect his image in America. Like in Japan, I know he would get slammed and everything in Japan, but in America, especially with the chair, did he have any pushback on that, or did he just say, just let you do what you just told you to go on and do it, or how did that happen? Because you didn't see that much in America of him taking that much punishment.
Well, you know, Andre didn't give a shit. You know, nobody told him what to do. Even what's his name in New York? You know, he was the only guy that was drinking in the dressing room because you're not allowed to liquor.
Right.
You know? So you didn't tell Andre anything about his life, how to live, what to do. where to eat, where, he was that kind of a guy, and he liked me,
Okay.
I'm a likable guy.
Of course.
And, well, I had met him when he first came to the States, and that was in the 70s, way back, and I had met him, and I spoke French, he speaks French, and he was another guy that was a very, very, very good guy. I mean, but if he didn't like you, you better watch out. Yeah, he was funny that way.
So clearly he must have liked you, apparently. So.
Yeah. I definitely think so.
Yeah.
I just remember seeing that, and I just remember I never seen anybody in America, just be able to manhandle him, and I was just shocked.
Yeah, but they didn't video the last part. That was in the middle. I beat him. Yeah, I mean, I won the match.
Yeah.
And also there was a handicap match. He had a partner. Did you know that?
No, I just seen the clip of you.
It was Andre Giant, and I can't remember the guy's name now. What's his name? I had wrestled him and broken his arm, and he went and got Andre. That was the story. He went and got Andre to kick my ass. And back then, my nickname was One Man Gang.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
And I said, yeah, bring 2 Andres if you can find another one, And so I went in the ring, and that's what he done. I mean, he I couldn't believe it myself. I felt like I was going to try to get on the rope and see if I could fly like Superman or something.
Yeah.
But the ending was I moved out of the corner. He ran into the corner and fell along the ropes. And when he fell along the ropes, that's when I cover him. I just dove on top of him, and I covered him. The referee counted 1, 2, and at 2, he kicked out. He pushed me so high, man. I must have went 8 feet up in the air. And I went over the top rope, and he got disqualified because if you throw your opponent over the top rope, that was a disqualification.
Wow, that's a finish right there.
Man.
Wow.
So after all that to him, I wind up winning.
That's awesome. That is awesome. Oh, well, thank you so much for doing this with us, Ronnie. I know we could have done this, the 4 of us, and had a good conversation about Hoot, but really, it honestly would not have been as good without you. And yeah.
Go ahead.
No, I'm just
glad to participate and talk about him, and I'm glad you guys did that. Ask me. I'm honored on that. Thank you for doing that.
Our pleasure. Our pleasure. Yeah.
He was a big part of my life at times.
Yeah.
Especially when I was in Knoxville, and I was in Knoxville for 5 years, and got to know him. And his mom was such a lady. She,
yeah. Well, I know he's looking down and enjoying this, and hopefully we did him some justice, and he'll be enjoying it on a podcast in heaven. So
he's laughing. He's looking down on us.
That's right. Well, Ronnie,
he's laughing.
Yeah. Well, we'll have to do this again sometime soon. Okay, bud. Thank you for coming on with us.
Anytime. It's nice talking to you guys.
You too.
Too, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ronnie.
Thank you for doing that to Hoot.
Yes, sir. Our pleasure.
Yeah, me too.
All right. Take care, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
Care.
Bye-bye.
All right, that was the one and only Hands of Stone Ronnie Garvin talking all about his best friend Hoot. Up next, I went digging into the archives and found some more stories about Hoot from Al Snow, the Hustler Rip Rogers, and George Weingroff. Enjoy.
Well, Jim was a great guy. He was, was a good guy. I came down because, that was when I was first getting started. It was probably 82 or 83, maybe 84, but I doubt it was even that late. And, how you got started was you went around to the different territories, and you were brought in just to do TV. You were brought in to put over the other guys, and that was it. And I remember I came down to work for the Poffos that day to do TV, and that was where I first met Rip Rogers for the first time. And he he like, he's got a piece of paper and he starts asking me how many matches I have. And I think like I'd worked like 2 years at that point or something. And, I'd been working, basically almost every day, close to sometimes 7 days a week. That was what we did. And, I'm trying to add him up in my head. I'm trying to tell him, and he's like, okay, so how many do you think were house show matches? How many were TV? Because house show matches are a full match. TV matches count as half. And he was doing all this math, and I know he was just working, but he took the time to he was adding and subtracting, dividing, multiplying, and at the end of the day, I only had like 10 matches. Because he didn't know who I was or anything, So, we're waiting to get TV started because Randy is passed out on his floor in his living room. He finally comes to. He shows up. He's like a whirlwind. He's running around the locker room. He's calling, telling people finishes, telling spots. He comes up to me and he goes, hey, we don't really know you. We just need you to see you sell. That's all we got to do. We just need to see you sell. We don't need, we don't want any offense. Just need to see you. I go, okay. So Hoot in the match shoots me off. It's me and I think it was Doug Vine versus Ronnie Garvin. And Hoot shoots me off and slips and falls. Now, I could have done something, and got on him or whatever, and but I just kept in my head. I was like, well, they told me just to sell, so I just ran right past him and hit the other rope and came back as he was getting up off the mat, and he gives me a shot to the stomach. And back then, somebody would walk out from the back with a towel around their neck, and that was the signal, the Iggy, time to go home for TV. And Ronnie apparently thought he saw the guy early when he didn't, and he picks me up for the pile driver. Then, realizes, oh shit, I went home early, but he can't put me back down, so he has me up in the pile driver for like about a minute and a half until he finally puts me down with the pile driver and beats me.
I'm from a small town in southwestern Virginia. It's Lebanon, Virginia, Russell County, really close to.
That's where Hoot Gibson's from.
Boom! You picked up on it. That's what I would love to hear is something about Hoot because he's our local hero.
The first time I met Hoot Gibson, I wasn't smart to the business and drove with this guy, my buddy Steve Cooper. He had worked in WOAY TV. Warren Schermbeck was the promoter there, and Charlie Love was the announcer. And I met B.B. Coleman there that night. And here he was. I wasn't even smart to the business. And Schermbeck says, "You from Indianapolis?" I said, "Yeah." He goes, "You're working for the Bruiser, right?" I said, "Yeah." He goes, "You babyface or heel?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "Hey, you work with this guy over here, Indian Joe or something." He said, "Now, when you get the pencil, go home." And you're going over. I'm going over. When I get the pencil, go home. What the talking about, right? I had Harlem Hildegard, all my shit on, my the boots were $29 in, my shimmer cape. And when I come out, I just wanted to start screaming, even though I was a baby face. I wanted to yell at the people because I seen them on TV doing that, right? So hell, that's my great start.
Yeah, Hoot is our local hero in Russell County here. So he
had the big hardware store, and whenever, because we had the Johnson City TV hit it, and I think some of the Beckley TV hit it, so he was double hit.
Yeah.
So I remember the first time I met Hoot, he hit me with that funny wrestler's handshake,
Yes.
So then he was buddies with Garvin, so they would always go hunting and fishing and everything.
Yeah.
He was Ronnie Garvin's buddy.
Yeah.
And he owned the hardware store.
Yes, sir. He sure did. Yeah, that's awesome.
And Ronnie Garvin married his next door neighbor.
Correct. Yeah. That's awesome.
Hoot was one of the nicest guys ever, but he just didn't have it, and he never got to go to a regular territory and learn.
Yeah.
But he's a real nice guy. Yeah. That's near Abington too.
Yes, sir. Yeah, about 20 minutes away from Abington.
Hoot was a great guy.
Did you ever do any wrestling around that area?
Yeah, we went with Garvin from Knoxville. We'd go up there, and I think Hoot promoted Lebanon maybe once. I remember going up there with Bob Roop and Garvin. They ran the town one time.
That's awesome.
This is what cooked Hoot's Goose. They did I was there. They did a little taping in Knoxville, and Hoot wrestled Randy to do a job.
Okay.
So the match was just god awful, and Randy comes to the back and grabs. He said, "If you didn't want to do the job, you should have just told me. I'd have got somebody else. You made us both look like stupid dicks." see, who didn't know any better, and he's trying to, instead of just listening, he's just trying to go boom, 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 get himself over. And Randy was pissed, and he never really wanted. The only reason he would use Hoot is because Ronnie wanted him to come over and go hunting and stuff. But Randy never forgot that. I'll never forget that line. You stupid son of a, if you didn't want to do the job, then why didn't you tell me? You made us both look like dicks. It really wasn't Hoot's fault. He didn't know any better.
Yeah. Did you feel that same way essentially when you worked with Hoot? Like, did you feel like okay?
I was a baby face. Only time I might had him as a partner somewhere, but he never, bless his heart, he never learned. He didn't have a chance. So it's kind of that's the story, in my opinion, why he never made it.
Gotcha. Well, thank you for telling that.
All right, we'll be right back to wrap things up with Sheik and Quinton after these messages on Give Me Back My Pro Wrestling.
Relive the glory days of Memphis wrestling with the Retro Wrestling Review USWA podcast. Each week, we go back in time to review USWA Championship Wrestling from the 1990s, episode by episode. Join us for watch-alongs, behind-the-scenes stories, and exclusive interviews with people who were there and lived it. Whether you grew up watching it or you're discovering it for the first time, this podcast is your ringside seat to Memphis wrestling history. It's all a part of the WrestleCopia Podcast Network. Listen now at USWApodcast.com.
Hi, this is Mike Needham, host of the Reckless Abandon Podcast with Mike Needham. We invite you to jump on your favorite podcast platform and search for the Reckless Abandon Podcast and give us a listen. I'm sometimes joined by a part-time podcaster, part-time co-host, and full-time wife, Tiffany Nicole. We talk wrestling, we talk pop culture, we talk local events, local happenings in West Tennessee, and a ton of other stuff. But be sure to check out the Reckless Abandon Podcast. Find us on Facebook. Also, look up the Microgroup Podcasting family on Facebook and see some of our other podcasts we have out there. Until next time, make good choices and always remember, no dollar, no dice.
Oh, Sheik and Quinton, one more awesome episode, and man, that was really cool. I'm so glad we got to pay tribute to Hoot. We had a friend, Jamie Combs, on, and then, of course, one of Hoot's best friends in the world, the Hands of Stone, Ronnie Garvin. What'd y'all think about that, man?
Ronnie Garvin, I mean, legend in the sport, and it's so glad we got a chance to talk to him. I'm glad that he, you could tell how much the friendship to Hoot meant to him, and great to hear the stories.
Absolutely. What about you, Q? What'd you think?
It was good. Having him on and him talk about, some, usually you don't have friends out of the business, close friends.
Right.
But, he had it in Hoot. Hoot was in the business, but then he wasn't in it long.
Right.
They had more relationship. I guess what I'm trying to say is the relationship was out of wrestling, not in wrestling.
Yeah.
The hunting and stuff,
Yeah, it was wrestling was kind of the afterthought. It was the tying line, but really hunting, seemed to be more of the thing.
Yeah. It's like, I mean, they both wrestled. Hoot didn't wrestle as long, but that ain't what brought them together. Hunting. It was, friendship was through hunting, not through, wrestling, which is different. It's different.
Yeah. And I know y'all picked up on this, but obviously, you talked to him about Southeastern and if Hoot ever wrestled there. And then obviously Ronnie owned part of ICW. So if you think about it, really, Hoot probably, and I respect Hoot to the end, he really owed a lot to Ronnie in the wrestling, Yeah. I mean, and a lot of times that's for everybody, right? You had Chris Champion vouching for you. You know what I mean? Everybody needs those things, man. Everybody needs that guy that can.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So it was cool to see that, and I'm glad Ronnie took care of the pride of Lebanon, Virginia, Hoot, and man, as a kid from Lebanon, Virginia, this is just, this is something cool. Obviously, Jared and I have talked about how much we would have loved to have had Hoot on the show himself. Unfortunately, time did not permit that. He had kind of already progressed too far into Parkinson's to have probably showed the best light of what Hoot could have told us. You know what I mean? So, so unfortunately, time got away from us. But the good news is we have Ronnie here and we had Jamie, and greatly appreciate that. I definitely got to thank Jamie and his wife Beth. Beth is a old friend from high school. She and I were in high Y together. I mean, she's a great person. I'm so glad her and Jamie are together. They're two great people. They both love wrestling. Beth has incredible taste in wrestling. Her favorite wrestler, or one of, I think, is Ricky Morton. So obviously, I think she has great taste. But Beth, thank you for hooking this up. Thank you for getting Ronnie and helping us. And thank you, Jamie, for y'all being there and helping make this happen. I mean, I really got to give you credit for that. So thank you so much for that. And once again, thanks to Ronnie Garvin for coming on and telling his story. I like doing these tribute episodes. These are fun because it kind of, so I mean, heck, we need to figure out some more in the future. I'm thinking Saul Weingroff. I'm thinking Gypsy Joe. I mean, there's so many guys we can pay tribute to. So y'all keep a lookout for that. One more time, Captain's Corner in the Portland Wrestling Expo 2, Saturday, February 21st, Holiday Inn, Portland Airport, 8439 Northeast Columbia Court, Portland, Oregon. Y'all go see Nick and the team. Paul Ellering, Dave Sullivan, Joey Jackson. I mean, it's so many people. Ken Patera. I mean, man, we've had them all on the show. So great time talking to all these Portland stars. So thank you all so much for checking that out. Guys, if you haven't already, it's at GMBMPW, Facebook, Instagram, X, and YouTube. Like, follow, share, subscribe, and all that. But mostly, we just appreciate you for listening. So, guys, I don't have anything else. What do y'all have? Anything?
Nothing else from me.
What about you, Q?
Go buy a shirt.
That's right. One more time. Pro Wrestling Tees and a site yet to be named. Check them out. If you find them, you can buy them. No, really. Thank you all so much for all the support and all that. So if you do want to buy a shirt, it's a great time. I think there's a deal right now on 20% off on Pro Wrestling Tees, so go check that out. It lasts through the end of the day. So other than that, Happy New Year's. I hope y'all have a great and prosperous new year. So for the Hands of Stone Ronnie Garvin, for Lebanon's own Jamie Combs, for the Plastic Sheik Jared Street, for the Territory Wrestling Guru Quinton Quarisma, and myself, this has been Give Me Back My Pro Wrestling. We'll see y'all next time.
Don't forget.
Introducing in the red corner, 216 pounds from Lebanon, Virginia, Hoot Gibson. And from Montreal, Canada, the current Southeastern Heavyweight Champion, the one-man gang, Ronnie Garvin. Over in the blue corner, 235 pounds from Virginia, Big Boy Williams. And his partner, 228 pounds from Cincinnati, Ohio, Al Snow. And with us, Mr. Angelo Poffo.
Glad to be here. I'm supposed to be a standby. I'm supposed to be on standby. But Ronnie Garvin is very good friends with Hoot Gibson. And he just begged to get in there and be his partner. They're very good friends.
Oh, and a great move there by Hoot Gibson. Avoid that hold by the
tremendous
Big Boy
kick by Hoot Gibson.
Big Boy Williams is from somewhere in the state of Virginia. Hoot Gibson's the pride of Lebanon, Virginia.
Right. Very good hip block.
Great move there by Hoot Gibson on Big Boy Williams.
Because of Hoot Gibson's stature, if you notice, he's shorter than the rest of the guys, but he's compact and very strong. strong. He's a very difficult man to wrestle.
Oh, monkey! Everybody,
a great monkey
and
clip.
Big Boy
Hoot
Williams, and
Gibson
Big Boy managed to get the tag made.
Probably has one of the best monkey clips in wrestling today.
Here's Al Snow now in with Hoot Gibson. There's a tag to Ronnie Garvin.
Ronnie Garvin.
When Ronnie Garvin's in there, a tremendous suplex.
Oh boy, now look at this.
That's why Ronnie Garvin wanted, get in there with Hoot Gibson. Gibson set him up, and Garvin put him away.
What a team they made, Hoot Gibson, Ronnie Garvin.
There's absolutely no question. And, of course, we knew what was happening there when Hoot Gibson came in the ring, and he had handled Big Boy Williams quite handily. And, of course, in comes Al Snow to take on the champion, Ronnie One-Man Gang Garvin, the Southeastern Heavyweight Champion.
Big Boy victory for Ronnie Garvin and Hoot Gibson.
Unfortunately, we're all out of time right now, and
let's take a break. We'll be right back with more right here on International Championship Wrestling.
With a tear in my eye, this is the greatest moment in my life.
We'll see you next week. And until then, so long for now.
This has been a James Rock Street production.